You and I both know that you are capable of enjoying the rain and frolicking freely without filming it and then posting it to TikTok. Now, you've just co-signed, okay? You just co-signed at least 3 million, 8.5 by 11 front and back people who just go out of their way to disrespect and dismiss the boundaries that Black creators have set. And now you're one of those people. So, I guess my question would be, why? Why is it so important to all of you to treat us like we don't matter?
Today I learned dancing in the rain.
Say what? I must only heard part of that.
Oh, I said
you learned dancing in the rain. What?
Today I learned dancing in the rain is racist.
Yeah, well, it's always something.
It's always something. I guess, upon further consideration, I guess I kind of get it because, with our nice white people hair, we can get out in the rain and we don't have to worry about. I mean, you do have women that when their hair gets wet, it turns all frizzy and stuff. But generally speaking, like, we can go dance in the rain and our hair will be fine. Whereas, if Black people get their hair wet, it's a whole ordeal. So I guess I can kind of understand, but like, I don't know. I feel like you can still put on a shower cap and go dance in the rain and not, it doesn't have to be something that's exclusionary just because, of your hair or whatever.
Because umbrellas are a hassle. When it's raining outside, I just put on my hat. And my head and most of my body stays dry. It's a good thing. So yeah. Quiet, it looks good on me too. So is it really just us on a Friday?
Well,
I'm impressed you could start the show.
I can always start the show. It's just doing anything else is where it becomes challenging.
Gotcha.
Like, for some reason, so I was sitting here like pre-show waiting for it to, usually the phone will give me a notification when you sign in, and I never got the notification. So I didn't know you were already like on the stream. Otherwise, I'd have pulled it up and we'd have chatted before the show started, like we normally do. But it never showed me the notification, so I'm just sitting here like looking at my phone, waiting for the little notification to pop up that somebody else has joined the stream, and it never showed up. So I was like, well, shit, I guess I'm just gonna be starting the show by myself. And then I pulled it up, and you were there. I was like, oh, so now I keep like checking it because if Clyde pops in, I won't see him. Or like if it's not giving me notifications, I'm not going to see him. So I won't know to add him unless he like sends a message. But
yeah, I was there for a minute too. So
I
there's
know.
no ring the doorbell button or anything.
By the time I realized you were there, it was like 7:29 and 14 seconds. It's like, well, we're not going to talk for 20 seconds and then start the show. I'll just go ahead and start it, and we'll take it from there.
So you got any big plans this weekend?
I go back to work tonight, so I'm gonna work all weekend.
Oh, really? Lame.
Yeah, that's the hazard of this rotating schedule. Is some weekends I work and some weekends I don't. It is what it is.
Yep, it happens, but it's nice to have days off during the week because then you can go like do your grocery shopping and stuff when the stores aren't madhouse. Like, going to Walmart on the weekend is just like you hate yourself, if you're going to put yourself through that ordeal. So having at least one day off during the week has always been something I'd liked, so I can run my errands on a weekday and, enjoy it.
Yeah, like I was off on Sunday. I had swapped a day with the other night shift guy. so I could be off on Sunday because we went laser tag and paintballing and all that fun, or laser tag and mini golf and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
And I absolutely roasted everybody in laser tag. No, you didn't. You suck. All right, 5.
I'm glad we have your fact checker on hand.
Actually, it was 4. He did fact check me. I was wrong. I said all right, 5.
What
He
up,
said he came in 4th, not 5th. So
I don't know what to do with all these rapidly changing outfits of Clyde's.
do you tag?
Nah, I'm sorry.
I know it feels like Clyde because of the rapidly changing outfits.
It might be it's the hat, I think.
Yeah, the hat threw it off.
It looks more like Clyde than Dag.
I was sitting here going, man, I didn't even put together a get up for today. You know, this will be the first in a few shows without some sort of get up. And like it's like a minute till the show starts, and I look over and the wife's sitting here wearing her hat, and I'm like, that's perfect. Give me that. So that's what we get for Friday.
I can get used to it though. Looks fine.
Yeah, it's I mean, I have a couple big hats, but I mean, this one isn't mine. But I mean, you got to have a big hat with the the sun.
I gotta get out and make a purchase then.
You're so pale and prone to skin, lesions from the sun that I'm surprised you don't have an even bigger hat than one of us.
Just the biggest of the big hats.
I want to see you jogging in a sombrero.
All right, where's Carlos?
Yep.
Mark keeps that SPF 120 on hand.
I refuse to, even though it would help me greatly. I refuse to use that stuff.
I think that stuff accentuates the skin cancer. To be honest, I can't imagine it actually helps.
Theory as well. Yeah.
Well, now they're finding out it's killing the coral reefs.
There was a study that came out in 2021. I'm sure, like it got buried with everything else. There was a study that came out in 2021 that actually showed that the higher SPF levels and the more consistent use of sunscreen, the more likely you were to develop skin cancer. So like it's out there. It got buried in amongst a whole bunch of other shit that came out around the same time, but that's a legit thing. Like they'll never talk about it.
Lewis Black called it in like one of his stand-up specials in like the 90s. He said he was bitching about sunscreen, and he's like, one day we're gonna find out this is the shit causing skin cancer. And I've kind of stuck by that since he said it. I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. I say if you want to protect yourself, you use shade, hats, and maybe like pure pasture-raised lard. All natural. I do think you have to protect yourself from the sun, but it's just everybody I know who's done lawn care for a living gets skin cancer in their ears. So
you do it like
talk about all natural. Here I am.
Oh, natural.
What up, blood?
So the way to do it is do it like the old black guys that worked on farms and stuff, and like old school Mexicans that they wear like 3 layers. Like they wear a long sleeve shirt and then another shirt underneath and then another shirt underneath. There's like a science to it. Number one, it protects you from the sun, and then the extra layers underneath like collect all the sweat and that keeps you cool. So everybody's like, and which I do that when I'm working and stuff. I'll wear like 3 layers, and everybody's like, "Are you not burning up?" I'm like, "No, the bottom 2 layers are good and soaked and keep me cool, and then the top layer stays mostly dry, so I still look, semi-professional."
Sounds gross.
It does sound kind of gross.
Well, no, man, he's right, and it is like you look at the.
Doesn't matter if he's right.
A
It's
lot
still
of
gross.
the migrant workers, and you look at all the Mexican dudes, and they're in long sleeves out there in the sun.
Yeah.
And then you talk to like white guys, and they're like, "I hate the heat. You can only take off so many layers." And I'm like, "No, man, you got to go the opposite way with it because you're hot either way, right? Whether you're naked or whether you're fully clothed, you're hot either way. But at least you're going to be a lot less beaten up at the end of the day. If
Most people are
haven't had that
hotter
sun
when
hit
they're
you.
naked, but that's just my take.
Yeah, well,
So this
we all
is
have our
like
preferences.
this is like the opposite of like wearing. You should wear like thin, like flexible socks in the winter because it keeps the circulation in your feet going, as opposed to layering socks.
No, you just get wool socks.
Or you can do what Clyde says.
I mean, that's like
Your mom's favorite doctor.
Well, speaking of hotter when they're naked, did everybody see the thing about the Finnish prime minister who's back in the news? I can't remember what the controversy was last time, but now she's back in the news because of
Was
she
naked?
clubbing?
naked.
Was she the one
Yeah,
clubbing?
she's
kissing
clubbing or
lesbians.
something. I think when it was like oh god, I forget. There's something. I feel like there was some disrespect to like a national holiday or something maybe, and she went to a bar or a club or something. I don't remember. There was something.
Well, now she's got naked kissing lesbians inside of her house, which I mean, I don't understand how that's any of the public's business. Like, what's going on in her home is.
Well,
entirely
I
up
mean,
to
if
her.
you know,
Consenting
fund
adults, you know.
I think if it's
No
more
risk of
the,
monkeypox transmission.
the taxes, your taxes are paying for the home, and then you got this funny stuff going on, like
How
I
dare
feel
you be
pretty-
sitting in that taxpayer-funded home?
yeah, I mean, think about that. If you actually knew what happened in the White House there, right, when all the little kids and everything, you'd probably be pretty upset too. I mean, we'd
I
have the same
feel
things.
I feel the same way about this as I do about if we're going to have public school teachers, they should be females, and if they are going to be in that job, then they can't date and they can't be seen with men or be alone with men. I know these are women, but it's kind of like the inverse of that. Obviously, we should.
Well,
have women
they're not
with
alone with
leaders
men.
anywhere, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're not alone with men.
I'm just saying the principle applies here.
I'm just saying when you put those strict rules in place, this is what you get. Dyking out. It's just the
Well, I
natural.
mean,
it's just the natural progression.
It's like she should be in that position.
What's that position exactly?
Something like that. I've never been in one myself, Justin, so you can probably speak more to it.
Pretty sure South Park did an episode on it.
Oh, that one was funny too. Scissor me timbers.
He knows the name of it.
What's all the banging around? Is that Clyde again?
No.
It's not me this time.
It's not me. I don't think.
I don't know what it is.
Y'all are as bad as my kids. We get home yesterday.
Clyde's got something going on under
and
this table.
I think your car's
We
breaking
get home
down.
yesterday, and the toilet is clogged, and the room is a disaster, and all of the kids were like, "Well, it wasn't me." It's like, it's your room and your bathroom. Nobody else goes in there. It had to be one of you, so they all got to be punished.
Okay, that
I
one was me.
saw Chris in the background. He joined the military. You get a haircut?
What?
Who?
I don't know.
What?
I saw him in the background. It looked like he got a haircut, so I wondered if he joined the military.
Who?
Made him join.
My son?
Way to get the high and tight.
Show him your
Oh
hair.
no, it's still there. Never mind.
He got it. He
The
got it
hat
all.
was hiding it.
Yeah. It's
Look at that
it's
hard
nice.
part and looked like a.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
It's
maybe
nice and
Justin
close
finally
on the
made him
sides.
go to boot camp.
He's got a nice
Finally.
close on the sides.
Won't
but
do
not
him
on
any
the top.
good, but
You got it right as I was taking my hat off. Real bad. Thanks.
You know, I've been having a real hankering for some mini golf lately. You really got me
Yeah.
thinking about it now. As you mentioned it earlier.
That's one of those sports. Like I'm not a fan of golf, but I do enjoy like mini golf, and yeah, my wife doesn't like it, and it's really it's weird. I'm like, come on, I want to go
doesn't
mini
like mini golf.
I know, right? Or bowling. I'm like,
Well, I don't like bowling, but
well,
Mini golf isn't so childish of an activity that it's inappropriate for two stoned adults to go do it on a Sunday afternoon, is it?
yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
it's not
I
too
think you
what?
should definitely do that.
Too much of like a childish
Childish
activity
of an
Oh,
activity.
no.
where it's creepy for adults to be
Honestly, no.
there unescorted by children.
Just get like a
That
milkshake.
they
and hang
didn't
out.
bring there, of course. You know, if you're
There
picking
should
kids
actually-
up there, you really got problems.
There should be like an age requirement for mini golf, honestly. Like probably 14. Like any kid under like 14 shouldn't play mini golf. They get in the way. I'm
Me and
so full of restrictions today. I'm sorry.
me and Ray were at Malibu mini golf and go-kart thing. I don't know if you got Malibu Grand Prix. I don't know if you guys had those wherever you're at. Just shut down, unfortunately. But we were there playing, and they served beer and everything. We had a couple beers, and we were playing. And it's like one of the few times I've been like almost been in like an altercation in public, you know. Their kid, this lady and her kid were playing behind us, and the kid kept coming on in like our green when we were putting and like getting in our way. And finally Ray's like, will you get your kid? Like, we're trying to play here, you know, and like yells at the lady. And you remember that?
Yeah, maybe it's someone cringy.
No, man, you're in the right. But I was like, oh shit, because I wasn't gonna say anything to this single woman and her kid. You know, it was the woman's place, and she came over and got all in her face and got all ghetto. She's like, y'all stink. Y'all been drinking. I'm like, yeah, we have beers in our hands, man. What are you talking about? So it was kind of funny, but I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to hit a woman today. I don't want to have to do this. It didn't come.
That's good.
That's good.
Glad it didn't come to that.
So I guess
Keep that private. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it was on Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. I mean, what do you expect? You're bound to get in a fight there.
One time there was a kid in my way, like a line at a gas station, and I was just like cut in front of him because I was kind of in a hurry, and I don't think he was in line anyways because he was a kid. And then I didn't realize until after I paid that I cut in front of a midget, not a kid. And I felt so bad.
Kids don't have their rights yet. They have to wait at the back of the line.
I felt terrible.
Is that sizeism? What do we call that?
Little people. Is that what they're called now?
It's probably just considered ableism. You could probably lump it in there. I'm sure they want their own category.
Is it really like a disability to be like, you know, just short? I mean, you know, I feel like that's giving it too much. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to start sawing off their legs, which I think people have done this, right? They want to identify as disabled, so they remove a limb.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, doctors won't do that, you know.
I would hope not.
They will in Guatemala.
Strongly discourage it, at least.
Yeah. You might have to go. You might have to cross the border for that one for sure.
Go to Boston's.
Love you, bye. Have a good day.
You know.
You could probably run more marathons, Clyde, if you had some prosthetic legs.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could cut my Achilles out and like replace it with like,
yeah,
you know, some synthetic tissue, you know, or something, or even just one of those like springy weird things that guy that like killed his wife, you know, had.
You could play pro basketball.
Not familiar with that story?
No, there was like an Olympic runner guy. He was from Australia, I think. He had two of those like fin feet. What? Are you talking to me, Justin?
He's from South Africa.
No, he's from
South Africa. It wasn't his wife. It was his girlfriend. He has. They called.
There's no difference. I said Australia. You said South Africa. It's the same thing. You said wife. I said girlfriend. It's the same thing. Just why you?
These are like really small details.
I love you. So what had happened? He had qualified for the Olympics, and then there was all kinds of controversy over his qualifying because it says that this is the craziest thing because he has these like
it's crazy
prosthetic
it's
legs.
Crazy.
There was contention.
This is the most retarded story ever.
Allowed to compete in the Olympics because he had an advantage. Like, wait, you're telling me the guy with no legs has an advantage running against people with actual legs? And you're not going to let him compete? I don't understand how this makes any fucking sense whatsoever. But so anyway, then after that, there was all kinds of stuff like they found his girlfriend in the bathroom dead, and whether or not he murdered her is still disputed. I don't know that anything was ever I don't know that anything was ever proven one way or the other. It was just kind of.
How can a man with springy legs murder somebody? I mean, that just doesn't jive. I say he's
I think it was
innocent.
the roids. I think it was roid rage, wasn't it? He's all hopped up on those things.
It happens. Hopped up on dope. So let me catch you up, Trey. Clyde thinks that sinning and screwing shouldn't be happening on taxpayer-funded property. Mark thinks that they shouldn't have been unescorted anyhow, and me and Justin are down with it. I think that about sums it up.
That's all right.
That sounds about right.
All right.
Wait, you say what was my position according to you?
No, I think I said the opposite of your position. I said unescorted.
Oh yeah. No, my
You don't want them
position is-
escorted, but also don't want them scissoring. That's right.
The only professional position, I can't say position, occupation that a woman should hold is a schoolhouse teacher. She shouldn't be seen with other people.
School marms. School marm is the funniest word.
Until you, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Steven just wants to see the video.
As a
Do we have a
doctor, I
video?
have lots of them, by the way. So if you guys ever need any, just let me know.
You are a doctor. Justin's on his way to pick up springy legs.
That's a
You know,
springy
if
leg
I
drill.
knew
I've
that
never
it-
seen one.
If I knew that having springy legs was an advantage, I'd have cut my legs off a long time ago.
It's also
still
probably
be
think
on the
about
page.
that. I mean, like, do you think when he walked through like the puddle of blood, like, and you know that you leave your footprints behind? Do you think like fin footprints are easily recognizable? Do they match up to like yours, or can it be anybody with fin feet?
That's a good
I
point.
mean, if it was his apartment, you know, what are the odds that there is more than one person in that apartment with the springy legs?
I mean, you don't. I bet you those people, but I think they probably run in circles, right? Where there's one, there's going to be another. They like cling to each other, right?
Well, if one of their
Like
fins is
that's-
broken, of course they're going to run in circles.
I would say that's not the ones that have two of them. It's the one that has only one. They're the ones.
That was
run in
awful.
circles.
Well, no. Well, I think that here's something like what Clyde's saying. Okay, like let's say you're a springy-legged serial killer. You could easily get away with serial killing by targeting the wives and girlfriends of other springy-legged men. I'm sure they have conventions. I'm sure there's some sort of registry you can find.
Right.
You can hack into the springy leg manufacturing facilities database and find the other springy-legged man customers, and you target them. Boom, you're in the clear. Space them
true.
out state by state so they don't notice a pattern. You got at least a few good years in you.
Maybe I
FBI's way
missed
too
this.
busy framing white supremacists.
I probably missed this earlier, but the springy legs start from the knee down, or they're the entire leg.
No, it's
Yeah,
from the knee
this-
down.
Yeah, his was from the knee down.
Okay.
I have seen like a prosthetic that comes up to like mid thigh. Those are pretty cool. There's a lot of robotics involved in them.
I saw a woman at the store with one of these the other day, and she had like tan like covering to make it look like it was a leg. It fooled me for a second. I was like, okay, so she was still attractive. I was like, oh, that girl's hot. And then I realized she had a metal leg, and I was like, is it wrong of me to consider her not as hot with that? But
Yes,
it
it is absolutely wrong of you. In fact, you should give it a shot because what you will find is legs
Oh,
are
boy.
heavy, and missing that leg changes the whole dynamic. Like there are things you can do without a leg that
That leg is getting away.
it's legs really do get in the way.
Interesting. So they removed the leg before.
What? Yes.
Justin
Yes.
knows. Justin knows.
That's,
Yes.
that would mess with my mind. Just in my head too much.
So we'll talk about it in the group chat. So for anybody who wants in on this, you go join the Patreon. Go join our Patreon. We'll give you access to the group chat, and then you can be privy to all the one-legged discussions.
You don't even need to join the Patreon. Just ask me, and I will let you have my place. Because about this, I'm about checking.
Damn it, Clyde, we're trying to turn a buck here.
No, Play the coffee ad. Let's make some money. Shit.
This was too far.
Don't be showing off your homemade medical journals to everyone.
I got all sorts of medical theories, and I got
Why are these all in Polaroid?
between it's amazing what you can do with Tractor Supply and like Jeffers Online, and like just the medicine that you have there at your fingertips. Never have to go to the doctor again.
Dude, I do got to say, when I first started going to the feed stores and they have the refrigerated medical chest,
Mhm.
it is kind of like, oh shit, like there's just syringes full of what is typically prescription drugs,
Yeah.
that you're just like, hey, give me some of that. And they're like, yeah,
Well,
no.
and there's something like, because I don't know that you can get like a bottle of penicillin, you can get a bottle of tetanus, like, and you don't know the dosage, but like if you ever got in a bind, like having that stuff on hand, like even for human usage, like it's
Mhm.
not a bad thing to have.
Right. I
So-
think it's
some of
still
it-
mostly the same formula. It's just
Yeah.
like different dosages. So like you might have to dilute it or something with some saline or whatever. But
Right.
like you could reasonably make that useful for your own use if something happened. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's the end of the world, you make do with what you got.
Yep. For real.
You may have to kill off a couple kids while you get the mix right, but once you
Midgets.
figure it out.
Yeah. Midgets,
The-
neighbors. Yeah.
The information's online. I don't want to make any claims, but there are a lot of them that cross over. I think some of it's even like fish medicine and shit. I think penicillin's one of them. I don't know about ivermectin, probably.
Yeah. I got me
Just
like
don't eat the paste.
half liter of that. I don't know,
You
dude.
know
Have
this
you
from
had
experience
things
too.
of Panicker, the fenbendazole?
You UV light up the ass the whole bit.
What?
Sorry,
Do they
Trey's
have
comment.
Do they have the paste in like apple flavor or like different flavors or?
What are you taking the paste for, and what paste are you talking about?
No, ivermectin paste.
Worms.
Okay. I don't
The
know.
horse
Have
dewormer.
you? Okay. Well, there's so ivermectin, I guess, is like it's a general dewormer. Now the paste comes for in horses, but the other like horse dewormer that I use for dogs is Panicker or fenbendazole or something like that. And that, if you like look at that, that's actually some people claim that it gets rid of that it'll take care of cancer. And there's been a couple guys that have got stuff and then done a regimen of this, and then the cancer kind of goes away. There's really an interesting thing to look at, and I think there's been a little bit more research in the last like 3 or 4 years into it. But it might be something if you're curious to look into. Just like
Is this
put it out
similar to
there.
like the system flushes if you like eat like a certain diet? Like
No, I don't think so. I think this is actually like, and I think some people I think have suggested that you can do it as a preventative. Take a little bit of it at a time, but it's just one of those things that like it's out there. Some people have said stuff like some scientists have actually studied it and looked into it, and of course, like it gets no freaking media attention. You have something that could possibly prevent cancer or cure cancer, like.
They die in a
What?
mysterious car accident.
This
Yeah.
this episode is definitely getting taken down for medical misinformation.
It happens.
Oh, speaking of that, did y'all see that YouTube changed their guidelines or their community standards for talking about the clot shot? I mean, the vac.
clot shot. That's a good name.
No.
So
I saw they've been
YouTube
cracking
changed
down
their
on the gun
standards That, it is not. It is no longer a punishable offense to say that the vaccine doesn't work.
That's good.
Oh, they went that way with it. That's unexpected.
Well, I think it's what's really interesting. We're starting to see that the vaccine kind of like didn't do what it was supposed to do, and it actually caused more problems than it was supposed to cause. And yeah, you see that bit with YouTube. You can actually talk about it. And I saw an article in Politico, and there's another one in the Hill talking about like how it's Trump's fault for pushing the vaccine through fast and pressuring the FDA to okay it. It's just like full circle, man. It's like full circle, and like I mean, however you feel, whatever you think about it, but it's like, man, we really like this vaccine was so great.
They
Everybody's
have
got to
no
take it and
shame.
praise Joe Biden to like, and now we're going to go. It's like,
And the thing is, like, we could like beat our heads and be like, no, this is the official narrative, but people are going to believe what they're now talking about it as. It's like, at this point, I'm just going to shrug my shoulders at this. I don't know. Just sick of it.
that's all you can do. All you can do.
Well, and on that topic of them kind of giving away the game and saying the quiet parts out loud, we had Nadler a couple months ago saying that like they couldn't raise the age of army enlistment or military enlistment because they need those dumbass 18-year-olds, and then you had what's his face that said student loan forgiveness is gonna like undermine one of the main recruiting tools for the military. It's like, holy shit,
dude. So
quit dropping shit. What is wrong with
Now
you?
there's the guy with his pants to his nipples, right?
Yes.
it was a Representative Ryan or something.
Oh, Ryan Nipple Pants? Yeah, I know him well.
Let me tell you, man, like when I first saw that, like I loved it. That was like my favorite tweet of, I don't know, the year. And then it came across my timeline again a couple other times, and
Behind his salsa blasphemy.
I was looking at it, and dude was serious. I thought it was like totally like a tongue-in-cheek kind of like poke at the system that is, and it was like, no, homeboy is like dead serious about this. Like, have you no shame? Like, it was insane.
They don't have any shame. They need young people to be broke and stupid so that they can wrangle them into going into the military, going to college, being saddled with debt for the rest of their life, and becoming a slave to the never. I saw a thing, a guy was talking about like his student loans. He went to grad school and he's been paying for like 10 years or some shit. And he has over the 10-year period paid like $112,000 towards his student loans. And his original balance was $175,000, and he still owes $175,000. Like he's paid over $100,000 in 10 years, and is no closer to having it paid off than he was when he started. Like,
now you know who controls all that, all the interest rates and being able to pay all that back, right? I mean, like,
obviously Republicans. They want students to stay poor forever.
Obviously.
They
I don't know, man. That tweet, I love that. I'm gonna frame that thing, man, because that just. How are more people not like that? I would think that would wake people up, right? Like,
people don't want to be woken up.
Or do people like recognize that? Okay, that's what like this is, and I just don't care, or is it like? I don't know.
I think a lot of people see it as a given that we need said military, and just like, oh yeah, obviously some guy who's supposed to tell me what to think said this, so sounds good.
A lot of people go into the social work field too, because if you're in that field for a specific amount of time, they'll forgive your supposedly they'll forgive your loans. Not many people have actually had this happen.
Yeah.
Like personal friends who are in that field still.
Now, were there any stipulations, like did you have to finish college to get your loans paid back?
I think so. And then there was like a difference between, so the organization I worked in was like nonprofit, and it had to be a nonprofit organization that you worked for, I think.
No, I mean like just in general with the student loan forgiveness bit that we just pushed through now.
If you had Pell Grants, you can get up to $20,000. If it's just the regular loans, it's $10,000. There are a bunch of stipulations. Like if you took out all those loans, but then you refinanced it, you don't qualify anymore. Like it still has to be the original loan. So
that sucks.
Yeah. So I've got a buddy that he's paid shit, I can't remember what it is. He's paid like 80 grand over the last 7 years on his student loans, and still owes like another 35 or 40,000. And he doesn't qualify because he did a debt consolidation and refinanced all of it. And so now he doesn't qualify for any of that because.
So once again, the people that are making the better decision after they've made a crappy decision are trying to make a better decision, trying to like make this more like financially sound and attainable, are the ones that get screwed again. So
yeah, I mean, if you
right?
If you actually paid off all of your student debt, you're fucked. You're not getting anything. You're not getting a refund or anything. If you did a debt consolidation and tried to like get everything bundled together, and you've been making your payments and you're doing all of this, you don't get anything. Like it's really kind of, it's only going to benefit the people that you would expect it to, like the people who are most closely connected to Washington.
The abject retards.
Oh, well, those two. But there's a big a big application and qualification process that most people who do qualify probably aren't going to put the time in to go through and do it, because there's a lot of like hoops and shit that you have to jump through to get it to actually get the benefits. So, and then the people who do get the benefit, it's going to be treated as either like unearned income or like
I was about to ask that.
Like a capital gains type of a thing. So they're going to end up getting taxed at like 22% or higher come tax season next year. And that's the reason that all these 87,000 new IRS agents are being brought on, is because they're about to forgive a bunch of student debt, but they're going to tax the fuck out of that amount that's being forgiven. And most of these, for lack of a better word, most of these idiots aren't going to realize that.
You had a better word. You knew a better word.
Yeah, probably. They think that they're just getting like student debt forgiveness and that there's no strings attached, and then they're going to get audited next April, and then they're going to get bent over and just completely fucked. So lots of fun.
God forbid that dumps you into bumps you up into like the next tax bracket or something too. So they also take a higher chunk of the rest of your money.
You gotta wonder about that.
The whole thing is a giant circle jerk. Like they're gonna fuck you over as many times as they can, and in as many creative ways as they can.
I guess.
They just have to be like sadists, because otherwise, I mean, you're already printing money. Just print the money anyhow. Like, they just have to come up with new ways to tax people. Like, it seems so pointless.
Yeah, I know, right? Where are you going, big boy?
Yeah, he's getting his gas at Chucky's. I don't think it's Chucky's this time.
You at Chuck E. Cheese? He's at Chuck E. Cheese without the kids. Pervert.
Of course he is. See, that would be a weird place to see two adults hanging out.
he's looking for kids with no legs.
They also won't let you in if you're two kids without an adult.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese won't let you in unless you have a kid.
Or the other way around. You have to have an adult also. It has to be an adult and a kid.
So if you dress up as the mouse, as Chucky, do you have to have a kid with you? Or can you do that solo?
Only if it's a costume big enough to smuggle a kid back out with you.
What if it is like a 17-year-old and her little siblings?
How do you know they're not her kids?
What I was told was it had to be somebody over 18.
What is he doing?
When I was 16 trying to go
that was
with some friends.
I don't know what's going on.
Sorry,
so
I
have to be over 18.
Okay.
Accompanied by,
Sorry, I was moving back into the truck because I forgot this is one of those gas stations that has the fucking TV on the pump that just talks nonstop while I'm trying to fill up. Like I don't need advertisements while I'm filling up. I'm already giving you all my fucking money.
So we would obviously, at my old job, we'd have to like get receipts for like the activities we would bring the kids on, and one of our staff brought kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
Can you get receipts in the red light? I've never known one of them to give a receipt.
They serve as businessmen. They give some sort of a receipt. It says, they want to write it off.
Just write it on a piece of paper or something.
$400 coffee or something,
Anyways, one guy brought kids to Chuck E. Cheese and he forgot to get the receipt. And I was like, is there any way you can like go back there and like ask for one, have them like make one up for you. Otherwise, it's taken out of our budget or whatever. So he's like, yeah, I got it. So he brought his daughter over the weekend and brought that receipt. He's like, all right, does this work? And I was like, well, it says you had like 4 alcoholic beverages while you were there. I can't really turn this receipt in because you're supposed to be drinking on the job. Never got that receipt.
I'm curious about this Chuck E. Cheese controversy thing.
I know exactly what he's talking about. The Chuck E. Cheese hugged and high-fived all the little white kids. Didn't see the black kid. So
it's a Sesame Street Park thing. It's the same thing as that.
Sesame Park.
Yeah, it's Sesame, whatever it's called, Sesame Row
Place.
or whatever the fuck
Sesame
it's called.
Land.
Sesame Place. Yeah, there was a thing where like they tried to like hand. I think this was the incident, but like they tried to hand the person of color baby to the mascot. And I guess they're not supposed to hold babies, for obvious reasons, because they don't have like real hands. And they were like, no. So they were like, oh look, it's because it's a black baby or whatever. They're not gonna hold it. So yeah, there's some lawsuit thing going on with them, and I guess a lot of it comes down to the realisticness tease of being in a giant costume that you can't see things around you and you can't hold babies. You see out of like 2 holes.
I mean, I feel like if I was really poor and I wanted to have like a lawsuit, like I'd give my baby to Chuck E. Cheese and ask him to hold it, but like, or Big Bird or something. But like anybody that cares about their children isn't going to do that. Like, it's just, I wouldn't give my child to like somebody with half an arm and expect them to come back, not concussed. Like, you're going to drop that kid. Like,
The giant rat still popular with the children, huh?
Apparently.
I guess. But apparently
Gives
the
them
racist and
candy.
only high fives white kids.
What
Have
if the
they,
other Chuck E. Cheese like costume wearers can like file a class action now? Because they're all going to get like, harangued as racists and grouped as racist, and they're not.
Chuck E. Cheese, that racist institution.
I miss the good old days when the rat had a cigar.
Did he really?
Did he?
That was America.
I didn't know this. I like the old Mickey Mouse that looks like something out of a horror film.
Yeah, I've seen some of those old ones. So you know how Odyssey Library, like they got in trouble for, I guess, handing out tokens from the SEC. You guys familiar with
like
Chuck
Chuck E. Cheese
tokens?
did?
So Odyssey Library, LBR.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
They got in trouble for like handing out tokens, right? The token thing, and he's in like deep with the SEC. It's like $1 million of lawsuits and all this stuff. But like, isn't that what Chuck E. Cheese does like all the time? Like, why hasn't the SEC gone on after the SEC? Or after
I don't think Chuck E. Cheese is in the business of giving out tokens for free.
Clearly,
well,
Chuck
yeah,
E.
but that's
Cheese
it. But
converged with
that's
the
it. You're
SEC.
trading money for these tokens, and like,
Mhm.
it's not a form of like, I don't know. Did they get approval before they did that? Because I can
I
go
think
out
it's
there and I'm sure I could use Chuck E. Cheese tokens in the right areas for
absolutely.
money.
Are we considering Chuck E. Cheese tokens securities or property? I think that's where the legal definition comes down
Is that
down the
what it is?
line. Yeah. I don't know that they're really either.
Chuck E. Cheese lawyers are sitting on the table thinking about it. They talk about this. They talk it through.
The last time
Are we going to call them tokens? Go ahead.
last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, I
I think you should keep
participated in
that story
some,
to yourself.
I participated in some low time preference behavior, and I didn't use my tickets I had won that day for anything because I couldn't pay for anything that I wanted. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep these in my closet until the next time we go. The next time we went, like they had switched from the tickets to the little card that tells you how many points you have. So I wasted.
So they wouldn't keep your tickets. They didn't take them.
They wouldn't take them.
You should have caused hell.
So the economic lesson.
I said this is the worst
the
experience of my
economic lesson that
20s.
Mark learned
Do what?
was spent. I said the economic lesson that Mark learned here was spend it while you got it because it's not going to be worth anything.
Yeah, I thought I was I thought I was being responsible, but they reward high time preference behavior.
Keynesianism proven right. At Chuck E. Cheese.
It would be a rat with a giant nose.
Don't
Anyways,
save your money. Spend it all now.
Oh man.
Mercy.
Chuck E. Cheese. Would you ever put one of those costumes on?
Yeah, what are they gonna pay me? Did you just dribble all over yourself, Justin?
I don't think so. Nothing's on my shirt, so.
I thought I saw something like spill out, and then you kind of like looked. Would I put on a rat costume? I mean, what are they paying me?
$20 an hour.
Am I a pedo or not? I mean,
A pedo or a pedo, or are they the same thing?
Because then it's the benefits, not the pay you're going after. You know, it's like being an ice cream truck driver.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for the money. Let's be real.
I think I'd rather
put
be
on
like
the
a
Murray State
sign guy.
mas-
But you would put on what?
I put on the Murray State mascot or costume or whatever, like the racer.
the what mascot?
It's Murray State University where I graduated from. Anyway, I put on the mascot.
Sorry
costume.
for not knowing that.
It's not. Sorry, we couldn't all go to Yale or Harvard or wherever you went.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody knows
I,
who the
I
Murray
started at
racing
Yale and
stripes
said,
are.
you know what?
Forgive
I'm
us.
better than this. And went to-
Anyway, the mascot costumes are not made for people who are 6.5 feet tall.
Don't
Yeah,
you have to be
maybe
like?
it's all tight.
I thought you had to be like obnoxiously large to be Big Bird.
I
Why
think
is it
most of
so
that is.
quiet?
My buddy was the mascot at our high school, and it's 8 million degrees in Florida, and he had a vest that I think one of the lunch ladies made it for him, like out of the kindness of her heart, that held those ice packs, those blue ice packs. So he'd get in the costume and he'd have like 12 of those blue ice packs in a vest on him in order to like survive
Did he get freezer burn?
football game in the sun. No,
He didn't get
he was
freezer
still
burn.
very hot and uncomfortable even with ice packs. Yeah. Dude, it's funny. I had like a Bitcoin joke like lined up for that when he started telling the story, but I was like, nah, I'll let the Bitcoin pass today. So I'm glad somebody reached into just made a
Trey's got you.
connection there. Yeah, that's why you got to make the switch before you're left in the dust. See, you're left holding your paper fiat currency, and everybody else has moved on to the money of tomorrow.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Or digital dollar. Ooh, digital dollar. Then they can keep track of you and where you're spending your tokens or your tickets. Yeah. They're finding the kids who buy the BB gun with their money, with their tickets, and they're targeting them from a young age.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Damn children.
Whoever gets the
All those
mustache
games
comb.
are shams, anyways. Possible to win.
What was did you guys have like a go-to that you knew the trick on and you could hit the jackpot on like no problem? Like you ever have a game you just really figured out?
A little mini bowling thing. I had a really crazy streak of like getting it in the most points hole. I don't remember. Like I didn't walk up to
That's the only time. That's the
I did,
only
like,
time.
walk up
Only
and drop
time.
it in, but I don't know what was going on there.
The only time Mark got it in the
The
money hole.
Yes. I've hit other holes, but I never hit that specific one.
The number 2 hole.
He's trying to say righteous with the Lord. Oh fuck.
I never as a child I was deprived of those opportunities.
I did the little basketball one. I could make a lot of or get a lot of tickets on that too.
No.
What about you, Dag?
I remember at Chuck E. Cheese, my dad used to take me every year, like right before school would start, and I'd get like $5 in tokens. And I remember there's this one, and I got really good at it, and I'd get it was the one where it'd accumulate the jackpot the more people that played it and lost, So I'd always hit it first. But it was like you drop like this ball in, and it had like this windy path, and the windy path had like a steering wheel. So it like, it did this, and you had to guide the ball into the hole in the end, and I could just nail that fucker. So it'd be like two tokens. I'd nail that thing, and then okay, I'm set. I got my money now. I'm good. Not like I get to play more games with it, but that was usually my go-to. Yeah. And then there was at this arcade at the mall when I was a little bit older. There was a thing where like the light would spin around in a circle, and it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then jackpot. And I could hit the 10 or the jackpot pretty much every time. Yeah. So I'd find the ones that accumulate.
Before or after, and I thought it was rigged.
Yeah, it might have been.
Throw that comment up there, Mark.
Look, this specific one's like off to the corner. It's like top corner, so I don't know. It sounds more like an ear to me.
What?
Oh yeah, the regular skee ball. Yeah, it had the.
I thought you meant
like
glory holes. I thought you weren't sure what that was. I was gonna have to fill you in.
Anything's a glory hole if you're brave enough.
Dag knows what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, because that was the big point. Because you had to venture out from the safe space in the middle, go for the. Yeah, I never went for the 10,000 pointers or whatever they were.
Oh boy, what are we talking about? I'm so confused.
We got two different things going on.
But they overlap so much that I'm just not sure anymore.
Well, this is a Friday show, guys. So here you go.
Justin got real quiet when we started talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Do you think he is Chucky?
I think he lays at the bottom of the ball pit. He's the guy that just hangs out in the ball pit.
Last time we went to Chuck E. Cheese, I got COVID, so I'm done with Chuck E. Cheese. Fuck that mouse.
Oh, I got another question for you guys.
Got
did you guys play non-ticket games when you went to Chuck E. Cheese, or were you strictly ticket games? Like when you're there, you're getting your damn mustache comb or whatever stupid prizes they had.
As a kid, I didn't play any of the ticket games. Our Chuck E. Cheese had the big arcade style X-Men game that I think it was 6 players could play all at the same time. And like me and all my buddies, we just load up on that thing and we would play it from beginning to end. Like we would beat it every time we went to Chuck E. Cheese. I didn't do arcade games. There was an arcade in the mall across the street from Chuck E. Cheese that had a claw game with like basketball cards, and I could nail that. Like I could get a card almost every drop. So if I put
why would you want a basketball card?
Basketball cards were the currency of the junior high. Like if you didn't have
I used to collect them as well.
If you didn't have a basketball card collection, you might as well have you were a poor person. Like you didn't even exist in the economics of junior high. Like that
pictures of muscly men. That's currency. We use cigarettes, all right?
Trading like muscly black men.
Like real men. Yeah. Like real middle schoolers.
I think it was Magic cards when I was in middle school. That was the one.
And then
that's high school, Steven. Yeah. We supposedly have one of those, but I haven't been to it yet to see if it's awesome or not. But yeah, man, I'd go $10 to just go play all the old, play Simpsons arcade game.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
Just go download like a DOS box and pop on Oregon Trail and number munchers.
DOS box?
Well, last time I did that, I destroyed my computer with viruses.
Have y'all played
destroyed?
Have y'all played the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game? That's kind of a callback to like the old Ninja Turtles games.
I'm an adult.
90s. Sure you are. We all believe that.
I'm a doctor. What the hell, man? You can't be a doctor if you're not an adult.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Doogie Howser would beg to differ.
I'm sorry, who?
Neil Patrick Harris? No? Okay.
Sure. Is he gay?
Is he? I think that's
famously.
That's like, yeah, I think that's.
But he plays like a womanizer in like all his roles.
He's Barney and. No, I Met Your Mother.
And then Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Suppose
he was in that.
He's gay, but
yeah, fur burgers. Yeah. Here's $200. I left some love stains in the back seat. You'll see.
Okay.
Justin's about to tell us about Doogie Bigelow.
Oh no! Supposedly he's gay, but I think that's just a front. Like he uses that to lull the women into thinking that he's like harmless and then he's not.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's a pretty. I don't know.
Dag froze.
You can't.
You can't what?
You can't, like, I don't know. You can't lull people into that. That's like there's lots of things you can do to lull people in. I think pretending you're gay is kind of like a stretch too far. You know, it's just
A bunch
You
of
gotta have
girls I
some
went to high
standard.
school with. There was a guy
Did it work
that
for
I went
you?
to high school with that was gay or is gay, but all the girls like he would go to their bachelorette parties and stuff, and all the girls said like whenever he got drunk, he got real straight. He was gay normally, but
Then he's not gay. He just has a revolving mental disorder.
who knows?
Oh shoot, man. I don't know. What else we got?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Dag.
I put several, there were several links and stuff that I put in the group chat this morning, but I don't think we've talked about any of those.
I saw the big hole.
You know, it takes me 4 minutes to pull up an article, so I don't think I might have to save these for Monday.
Let's talk about
It was Jim Banks. Student loan forgiveness undermines one of our military's greatest recruitment tools at a time of dangerously low enlistments.
Who is Jim Banks?
I don't know. He's a
Some
representative.
dickhead.
Some dude who doesn't get life. Yeah, there's no links in here.
Of course not.
Did you see what? Oh, all right.
I'll be
Did
back
you
in
guys-
the driver's seat Monday. This will be on, and not this driver's seat, like the
Yeah,
actual
you're in the
Atlanta
driver's
computer.
seat, literally right now.
Did you guys see the guy get his ass beat by the 3 cops in Arkansas?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. He got like beat by the cops. Like it was one of those white dude. But one of the articles said like
Probably why I didn't see it.
the cops, they called the cops on him because like there was an altercation with like a convenience store clerk or something, and maybe he assaulted them, I think, but like they threw terroristic threats on there, right? And then I guess supposedly he like pushed one of the cops to the ground and like started punching him in the back of the head, which I don't necessarily believe, but yeah, the terroristic threats. And then there was this other lady, Esmeralda something. She's Hispanic of sorts, but she was accosted some Indian American women and supposedly assaulted them, but they also threw like the terroristic threats at her. And I feel like all this like the racist stuff words are now like I don't ever remember seeing terroristic threats as like something you could get in trouble for, you know, outside of maybe like, you know, telling a politician you're going to kill them or something. But just calling people names, it seems like now is a terroristic threat. I don't know. Keep in mind next time you go to the, you know.
They didn't say the specific thing he said. They just labeled it terroristic threat.
That, I mean, the articles I saw, yeah. And I saw it like, and I was saying there's another one, some lady like, and the terroristic threat, I think was like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have everything. So I don't know if she told him if she was going to kill him or something or whatever, but like, it was, you know, like the typical, you know, go back to where you came from, like that sort of rhetoric.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
Colonizer.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, man. That's something I think we need to like watch, you know. That sort of falls in your First Amendment. If you want to be a dirtbag, be a dirtbag, go for it. But you know, I don't know.
So what you're
Well,
saying
there's
is we need to be more coded in our speech on this show. I'll work on it.
Did you see?
Justin's
Did you guys?
Justin's the one you got to worry about.
Did you guys see the freeze frame of Joe Biden in one of his speeches, like giving the white power symbol? Dude, it's hilarious. I love it. I love that people are still in that. Like they haven't figured that out yet. Like
Milo claims he started that. Is that true?
Did he?
I thought it was a
He claims
4chan
it.
troll.
He's not gay anymore, so he can be.
You'll
I
believe
don't
him
know
now?
what Milo is anymore.
Yeah, he can be trusted.
I don't know if he knows.
Probably not.
Supposedly
shit.
he like converted to Catholicism or something and renounced his gay ways and went straight. I don't know.
So did Shia LaBeouf, apparently. I keep seeing this.
He wasn't
He
gay.
was
though.
gay.
Yeah, no, Shia LaBeouf is not gay, but he converted to Catholicism as well. But I remember like 8 years ago, he was kind of doing the same thing. Shia LaBeouf has got some issues. Clearly.
Which one is Shia LaBeouf?
Even Stevens, Transformers
No.
guy.
Oh, well.
No, nothing.
Yeah, I don't watch kid movies. Sorry.
4chan
I know.
trolley.
Is he on 4chan too?
No, there was something like some people on 4chan were like habitually like trolling and harassing him or something. And I'm not using the term harassment loosely, but like there was something like he had like a flag that he put up and like had like a stream of just this flag, and they use like planes and like sirens and shit from this stream to find it and like take it down or some shit. Hold up, really hilarious. There's so much work.
He's also Stanley and Holes. Maybe you've seen Holes.
No.
Or is he Stanley? He's not. He's the other weird name kid. I don't know.
No, my English teacher in high school read that book aloud to us. That's how good my high schooling was.
Wow. High school.
Yeah.
That's more
High school.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? You weren't there.
I like at the end the big
He was there for
twist
chapter
that
3
it was
and
like
7.
where his grandfather was, you know, like they're like, oh, like the whole class, like at the end, oh my goodness, and I was like, you guys didn't figure that out by like chapter 2? Like this was gonna be the same place his grandfather was? Jesus. Like I think I stood up in class and said, you're all idiots. What's the matter with you?
Dad got that grade A high quality education. He's like, y'all are a bunch of retards.
Oh, I know. I was trying to find it. I can't find it.
It's because we know who the retard episode is.
My gosh.
Do I need to do it? Good God.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.